Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of My True Self. Videos where I am talking about those darker parts of ourself that we don't often like to look at, but talking about bringing them out of the shadows into our awareness so that we can actually feel our most authentic and confident self. So today's video, I'm really focusing on intentions, and this is so powerful because often we are not aware of the depth behind everything that we do. We don't often recognize that the consequences and the experience that we have in life are a direct result of our intentions. They start much earlier than the actual event. They start back in the thoughts, the seeds that we plant, and the intention that we have behind everything that we do. If we are not aware of what that is, we tend to experience a lot of pain. We tend to feel like the circumstances that keep happening to us or the situations that keep cropping up, we feel a sense of powerlessness to it. We might feel confused that the same issue keeps happening, or we keep attracting the same people that cause us pain. And we don't react to that until it's really happening, and we feel like we don't understand why that's happening. So a really amazing analogy that I once read, and I feel like it sums this up perfectly, is not being aware of your intention is essentially like carrying skis over your shoulder, walking into a china shop, and every turn you make, you're smashing china behind you, but you're not aware that you're responsible for it. And this is so true. If we are not aware of our intention, we kind of walk through life coming across really painful things, circumstances that keep happening. And in that moment, we're only looking at that outcome and that experience, but we're not attributing it to how much earlier it got set in motion. And the truth is, it always starts so much earlier than the actual experience that you're having. You have so much more power than you realize, and it starts in here and knowing what are the thoughts that you're having and what is the real intention behind every choice that you're making, every decision and everything that you choose to do. So we can often think that our intention is just, the first thing that comes to our mind, but we have to be willing to go deeper. And sometimes that can be painful because we find out things that we don't really want to know, that we actually think or feel. And it really is about uncovering that from our unconscious. If there's something that's driving us to do something, we need to become aware of it. Otherwise, we're going to attract these painful circumstances and feel like, I don't understand why that's happening. So an example of this is if you're needing to get a job, for instance, a surface level intention might be, I need to get a job. And we don't really go deeper than that. It's really important to ask ourselves, why do I want to get this job? Why am I getting this particular job? And dig deeper. It might be, I need money, or I feel like it'll give me quite a lot of prestige having this job. Or we might even need to dig deeper than that. What is the feeling behind getting that job? Why do I need that? Why do I need the money? And going down and down and down as deep as we can until we can get to the real intention that's going to create our experience. Often we might uncover something like, I didn't realize that I wanted that job because I feel like I'll like how people will see me. Or it might just be discovering the real why. It might be, I really want to do that job because I feel really passionate about helping people. And I feel like I can do that in that work. It'll bring me more meaning. Until we're going to go down and down and find the real intention, then if we're not aware of that, we're going to walk into that situation. We're going to draw in everything that matches our underlying intention. We're just not going to be aware of it. So another example of this might be a parent is wanting to send their child to university. Two parents. One is doing it because they worry that they're going to be judged if, their child doesn't go to uni and everybody else's does. So it's fear-based, and it's about the self, not really about the child. So this is different to a parent who, might want their child to experience different cultures or the education, and it's out of love for the child to better their life experience. They're two very different intentions that draw in very different results and consequences. So the person who's sending their child out of fear, and it's actually for the self, it's a taking rather than a giving. And what happens is we tend to then attract other people that have a taking intention themselves. So we might end up getting used by people because we ourselves are feeling that and putting into action things that mirror that. For the individual who's sort of sending their child out of love and wanting to better their child's experience, it's not about them, it's through love. They might find that then they are attracting people who aren't going to use them but are going to support them and look to them and to do things for them in a loving manner without a need to have something. It's not self-driven. It may seem hard to I guess, picture that, but it starts with the intention and really looking at the self. It can be difficult to look at the self and think, I wanted to send my child to university and I didn't realize that might actually be more about me than about them. It can be painful, but it's more painful when we don't become aware of the actual intention, and then we're putting these things into play and our outcomes are painful, more painful. So my advice around today's tip is to really ask yourself with every decision you're making, what is my intention here? If you get, one answer, dig deeper. Why that? And why that? Try and go 7 levels deep. Try and get to the real intention and do it in a non-judgmental way of yourself, because sometimes things crop up that we weren't expecting that, or we don't want to really look at that. But remember, it is more painful to be making decisions when we're not aware of the intention. So I hope this has made sense, and if this is something that you want to know more about, please reach out to me or pop some comments in the box below, or tag anyone you think that this may help. But yes, all right, yes, I hope you have a good day, and like I said, please let me know if you want to know anything more.